Hi, grade 7s. This lesson is about accidentals and key signatures. Let's start off by discussing the 5 different families of instruments that we have inside of our band room. The first family are the concert pitch treble clef instruments. Those include flutes, oboes, and the orchestra bells in the percussion section. The next family are the concert pitch bass clef instruments, trombone, baritone, and tuba. What makes the concert pitch instruments is that when we play the first note of B flat concert, the note that you play is actually B flat. The next family of instruments that we have are the B flat instruments. That would include clarinet, bass clarinet, tenor saxophone, and trumpet. When we play B flat concert, your first note is C. The next family of instruments are the E flat instruments. That's the alto saxophone and baritone saxophone. When we play in the first note of B flat concert, you play G. And lastly, we have the French horn, which plays in the treble clef as well. When we play the first note of B flat concert, you play F, and you're the F family of instruments. Let's take a look at line 56A. What we notice with 56A, before we even read a single note from this line, is that there's information at the start of the piece. The first piece of information that we see is the clef. Treble clef, bass clef, or treble clef. After that, we see time signatures. This piece is in 4/4 time, so everybody gets a time signature. In between the time signature and the time signature and the clef, there is some interesting information, some important information. For my concert pitch instruments, we see 2 flats. For treble clef concert instruments, the first flat symbol is drawn on the 3rd line, so it represents B flat, and the second flat symbol is drawn in the 4th space, so it represents E flat. This tells us that every single B and every single E that we encounter in a piece of music should be played as flat. It is called the key signature. Concert pitch bass clef instruments have the same key signature, 2 flats, B flat and E flat. It's just they're written on different lines because of the bass clef. So the first flat, B flat, is written on the 2nd line, and the E flat is in the 3rd space. But again, they represent B flat and E flat. Now B flat instruments, in between your clef and your time signature, you don't see anything, and that's your key signature. Nothing is sharp and nothing is flat. That means when we start on D, when we start on C, we play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Nothing is sharp, nothing is flat. Every note is natural. Alto saxophone, E flat instruments, baritone saxophone as well. We see 1 sharp, and the first sharp is always F sharp. Now, something that students find confusing is that the sharp symbol is drawn up on the 5th line. However, we know there's another F on the 1st space. This F sharp symbol on the 5th line indicates that every F is played as sharp, up on the top line and down in the 1st space. Every F for the alto saxophone and baritone saxophone in the key of B flat concert is sharp. French horn, our key signature is 1 flat, and we know from the order of sharps and flats that that flat is B flat. This key signature indicates that we are playing the notes from the one key that we know so far, which is the key of B flat concert. Now, B flat concert is a scale. It's a series of 8 notes that sound organized, like this. You may have been singing along in your head like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. That order of notes is called a scale. In our class, it's called the B-flat concert scale. And it's indicated by this key signature here. Now, if we look at bar 2, something very strange happens with the first note of bar 2. The first note of bar 2 is a half note, and for everybody except for the E-flat instruments, there is a flat sign in front of that half note. For my E flat instruments, we have a half note, and there is this symbol, which is a natural. The reason why you get a natural symbol, E flat instruments, is because this note, the first note of bar 2, is an F, and instead of asking you to play an F sharp, thumb 1, 2, 3, 2, they're asking you to play F natural, thumb 1, 2, 3, 1. This symbol here, this note here, is called an accidental. An accidental is a very special kind of note, because an accidental is a note that happens outside of our key signature. For my concert pitch instruments, that note is A flat. Flutes, thumb 1, 2, 3, pinky, pinky. Trombones, third position and pushed up. Baritone, tuba, first valve and pushed up. That flat for my B flat instruments is B flat. Clarinets, and bass clarinet, that's the A key, plus the register key, that's the one that looks like the canoe paddle on the back. Trumpets, first valve. And tenor saxophone, either 1 and 2 with the bottom side key, or 1 and 1. French horn, that flat is E flat, which is second valve, and again alto saxes, that note is F natural, thumb 1, 2, 3, 1 up on the top line. If it was in the bottom space, it would be 1, 2, 3, 1, no thumb. There is a third kind of accidental. It looks like this. And that's called a sharp. We have flats, naturals, and sharps. Those are all accidentals, and we put those into a piece to indicate that we want you to play a note that is outside of the key signature. Now, if we look at bar 3, you can see that bar 3 starts with the exact same accidental that bar 2 does. And we had to write that accidental back in. Here's why. The first rule of accidentals is that a bar line cancels an accidental out. So rule number 1, bar lines, accidentals. There we go. If we look at the second note of bar 3 of line 56A, ask yourself, is the second note of bar 3 of 56A going to sound the same as the first note or different from the first note? The answer is it's going to sound the same. Here's why. We're still inside of bar 3, and that accidental is going to remain all the way through bar 3, because accidentals last for the whole bar they are in. For my flutes, trombones, and tuba, that means that the first note of bar 3 is an A flat, and the second note of bar 3 is an A flat. For my B flat instruments, that means the first note of bar 3 is a B flat, as is the second. F instrument, French horn, both are E flats. And alto sax, bari sax, both are F naturals. This is what you need to know about accidentals. Play through line 56A as well as line 58A, and you'll encounter this accidental, A flat, B flat, F natural, or E flat, which again is a note outside of the key signature. Good luck.